Hello, self, cosmos, universe, ohana. It's Soul Dr. Nick here. It is March 22nd, 2025, day after spring equinox. This is magic, mirror time. This is time to reflect, guide, share, be with myself, see what comes up, learn, be, do. Not typically created for general consumption, and I'm putting it online because it's part of my work at intimacy, at authenticity, at transparency, whenever this does get published. And wonderful work. It's about 2:40 a.m. post spring equinox, small gathering ceremony, breath plus day. And what a magical gathering we had last night. What a magical day it was yesterday. Lifetimes inside a day. Conversations within conversations within conversations. Things that normally could have been triggering and challenging, just being. Little things I'm noticing, like I lost one of the magnets for my microphones, and I'm like, it'll show up if it wants to show up. Conversations with myself, with my beloved, with close friends, with new friends, new family. Learnings and leanings towards, we call him now Papa Jack Cruz, and his teachings. Looking forward to learning more. Being with all the sunlight that is, the concentrated sunlight. Drinking something that's been a while. Taste of nirvana. Coconut water in a glass bottle. So much fun to have that. And definitely not cheap. We live a very privileged life. And yet, the funny thing is, I remember when I first encountered coconut water years ago, I thought it just tasted and smelled like semen. I couldn't understand why anyone would buy the stuff. It was the worst. This was the first one I liked, and I had it at my friend Matthew's house. And I was like, oh my God, this changes everything. And that stuff was almost $10 a bottle at one point. It's crazy. We bought cases of it when we found it on sale. Yeah, I've gone crazy and cuckoo for coconut water so many times. The last time was when my son loved a certain coconut water. I found a way to get it for less than $2.50 a bottle, I think. So I bought him, I think, 190 bottles. That was crazy. We're still drinking the last of that. And I'm so grateful I took a break from it, because we were drinking too much at one point. Like, he was just downing it, because it was everywhere. There was one point, the one that's the unpasteurized one. I can't remember what it's called now. It turns pink, though. And we went to Rocky Point Park, and they had a little show on, and I bought a few bottles, and then they gifted me a couple almost expiring boxes. We had so much of it. It was not even funny. We couldn't even fit it all in the fridge. That was just before we headed off for the East Coast. Talking about PEI, talking about my parents coming. I haven't said much of the first 4 minutes, and I'm glad I haven't. I'm just taking my time this morning. Gratitude and affirmations. So grateful for all the souls that have trusted me, all the secrets I've been entrusted into, all the groups I've been invited into, all the groups I've left or have been exiled from, or have been pushed away or pushed away from. I have had such a deep affinity, commitment to groups. I'm just remembering. I remember in university, I was so committed to my cheerleading crew, my power cheerleading crew, that I knew I was sacrificing my marks to be with them, to do things with them. And then I felt so betrayed at the end when I was like, oh, they don't even want me to come back to practice. And they let me know, this doesn't mean you, Nick. But already I had made myself up that I wanted to be a victim. I didn't know how to leave. I didn't know how to leave. And it's funny, because I dated someone who was part of the cheerleading and part of the leadership and would talk to me the next year and the year after about what's going on. And I would give a little bit of support, and I knew, but also it was my tie in. Yeah. Yeah. And a big part of it was running away. One of the biggest insights yesterday is like, when I played video games, when I got to the point of inventory management, I knew I was not playing anymore. I wasn't having fun. And inventory management these days in life is really just, a lot of it's money, stuff, managing money, managing stuff. How to get supportive for that. When I'm doing that, I'm usually not enjoying myself, and yet I do so much of it. I devote so much energy and attention to it. There's a whole economy around it, all these storage sheds. And I could laugh, I could blame, I could judge, and that's part of me as well. And then I realized that we're rich, just as we are, just as I am. And over, if I can say I've got a privileged life and just actually enjoy it as well. Actually enjoying this life as a human being, as a parent, as a person, as a soul, as a being. Trust, the currency of trust. Someone brought their wife who had never met me before yesterday, and I'm reminded how much trust that means. The most important person to them they brought, and they wanted to bring. And so let go of trying to convince them, guide them into what support could be used. I could see the linkages to the connections yesterday, the linkages to pyramids, to bigger and bigger containers, to transforming the earth, and then letting go, trying and pushing and needing it to be so. Because in the needing to be so, I'm wanting to pressure the dominoes and make sure one falls in front of the other, in front of the other, in front of the other, instead of letting it actually unfold and unwind as it should, as it wants to. I do not need to own everything. I do not need to control everything. I want to have friends. I want to have people in my life that I'm close to, that I can play with, that I'm having fun with. And that's been a good question. Who are my friends these days? I'm trying to make to my best friend's birthday party, but in a way it's inconvenient. And I'm making it inconvenient, and I can always reach out, and I can always call, and I can always be with. Happy early birthday. Happy early birthday. I've been so supported in so many ways, so guided in so many ways. Really enjoying the song Saturn. And then I played some Howl on Follow the Sun, Woman Who Dances with the Wolves. Alleluia, Power versus Force, Dr. David Hawkins. That audiobook and hearing Alleluia at the end. And then realizing the beauty of this communion, of this prayer, of this way of being. Guiding someone who says, be gentle, and being gentle with them, guiding them back to the place of no positive, no negative. Just a hello. Guiding someone to their own medicine, that they don't actually have to ask for any medicine. They know they have choice, and they're like, no, actually, I found this place with my breath, this profound place. And it's a practice not to ask for more. guiding to a little God pod as well. A mini God pod. A mini God pod. Guiding men to be kings, to be alphas. Guiding women to be queens. Alpha and the Omega. Alpha and the Omega. No, it's not Alpha and Beta, Alpha and the Omega. The beginning and the end. Calling in Egypt, calling in Morea, calling in the Andromedans, calling the Arcturians. Guiding myself to a place, an energetic place in the home where something has happened. Being with shame, being with guilt. Some of this may sound cryptic, and it is. It's for me. It's my magic mirror work. I'm revealing what wants to be revealed right now in the layers. The medicine of Hape, the medicine of running away, giving away crowns. Giving away crowns. Using the power of crystals. The power of wands, the power of swords, the power of the infinite. A breath that lasted, 2.5 hours probably? Rising and falling, rising and falling, rising and falling and rising again. What a beautiful, fun fucking playlist. What a beautiful, fun fucking playlist. Thankful for the recording as well. I have no idea if it's usable, if it's not usable, and it doesn't matter. It was a practice to record. And I'm willing to practice, I'm willing to play, I'm willing to experiment. Even if there's so much background noise, it's worth it. Infinity times infinity. Infinity times infinity. Spending money on hardware, on technology. I really enjoy this life. I really want this life to unfold even more beautifully. I appreciate that. I was having a conversation yesterday. It's like, I am not here trying to beat the norm or the median or to feel good if I am not doing worse than everyone else. That's an old barometer. That's keeping up with the Joneses. And part of it is the changing of parenthood into really a place of enjoying this time of life versus trying to sacrifice self or say that I've done all this for the next generation. Our children are living through us. They're watching us. They're observing us. They're smelling us. They're tasting us. More than that, they're using their telepathy and sinking in with us, tuning in with us. Is this what life is about? And what I've done is I started off by rejecting my parents' life. And then I realized, wait, that in itself isn't living either. It's actually realizing, wait a second, I've got a choice. How do I want to live in this lifetime? Inviting them in, inviting the children in, inviting their friends in, inviting their family in. And it may be living it entirely differently. It may be creating space for new possibilities. One of the first ones for me is just standing still enough, noticing what I'm trying to suppress. Conversations, discussions, being with challenges. Noticing myself having come back more balanced than I usually am from a ceremony, from an event, from a breath. And there still is that balancing act that happens. I'm not sure how to share with my beloved these cosmic experiences. And so I temper, I dampen. And then learning to trust. Trust is the currency. Reminding myself I was much more clear yesterday. It's so much more fun coming into something not from the space of something that's broken I need to fix, but rather I'm looking forward to see what I'm inspired by. Inspiration. And that's part of it for the breath tomorrow morning. Inspiration. If there were nothing to fix, if there is nothing wrong, if nothing is broken, if everything is perfect, that actually might be one of the biggest challenges. I did that video, I'm not outraged. And I can create another one, everything is perfect. In that perfection doesn't mean I don't want to change anything. I can have a perfect outcome, but it doesn't mean the process was perfect. How might I shift it? But I'm coming at it from